is up, guys? I just got out 45 minutes ago. I've seen Superman in IMAX on Thursday night at 7 o'clock in my IMAX theater. I just said IMAX twice. It was a packed, sold-out theater, lots of body heat, lots of people. And yeah, I did not get a chance to see this during the prime screening that happened a couple days earlier. It is what it is. But let's dive into it, guys. Superman, directed by James Gunn, starring David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan, and Nicholas Hoult, is my most anticipated film of 2025, more than anything. And I really wanted to see this film succeed. And I will say this film is being marketed as the start and the kickoff to the new DCU that James Gunn is driving us through. But does it succeed? I am pleasantly happy to say it does succeed. I think Superman is a great film. Although, do I have some problems with the film? Yes, and I will get into those problems a little bit later in this video. But let's talk about what I loved about Superman. David Cornsweet embodies the character of Superman. This film feels like the comic book leaped on the screen in real life. It is crazy. One of the things that I noticed about this film for the first 15 minutes is it's a very fantastical film. And you got to get immersed into it. And it took me, even myself being a fan of comic book movies, 15, 20 minutes. This film, the way that I can explain it the best way possible, and there's going to be a spoiler section too, don't worry guys, in this whole video. It is not like any other comic book movie I've ever seen. You cannot compare it to any Marvel movies whatsoever in that sense. And anything DC's done in its past, it is completely different. And I think it's honestly a nice refresh that the genre fucking needs, to be honest. But besides that, David Cornsweet as Superman, he embodies this character. This is the Superman that I grew up knowing and I love, and we finally get to see that witness on screen. I'm going to talk about Man of Steel in my spoiler portion of this video in a little bit too. But Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, phenomenal. Perfect casting. These two share chemistry together. It is beautiful, and I love it. And I'm going to tell you right now, Nicholas Hoult, Lex Luthor, fucking great. The rest of the supporting cast too as well, really, really good. I will say, touching on Nicholas Hoult's Lex Luthor, he chews up the scenery. He's got that little bit of a twirling your mustache type villain at times, but yet he brings it in this whole A game that he's got as this iconic villain of Lex Luthor. He fucking nails it. Let me talk about the CGI. I'm going to say right now, the CGI in the film, 90% of it looked really good. They never cut out that scene with Superman and his lazy eye. They never cut that out, by the way. I'm just saying. That's not really a spoiler. But I think 90% of the CGI looked really good. The colors, the cinematography. Now, very colorful film. Very saturated film. Very poppy with the colors, stuff like that. And it really shows. And the CGI, although with a couple scenes, not the best. But 90% of it looked really good. The score in this movie, too, by John Murphy, great fucking score. Pays homage to the Man of Steel score by Hans Zimmer, a little bit there, and the John Williams score. It is a beautiful fucking score. Now, let's talk about the story. To try to not spoil it, basically, Lex is just trying to frame Superman. He hates Superman, nothing new, and he has Superman go up against all these tasks, so to speak. I'm trying to tread very, very spoiler-free. And what I think the movie does great is it really does make it feel like you're in this new DC world of Metropolis. There's a lot of things going on. The Justice Gang's here, which I will say my biggest fear was the Justice Gang in this film. I think Mr. Terrific and I think Guy Gardner's Green Lantern, played by Nathan Fillion, fucking great. They are phenomenal in this film. But I will say that the story, in the sense, it's just some tasks that Superman's got to take on. I don't want to really spoil it, so to speak. We'll leave that in my spoiler filled in this portion of the video in probably a minute. Hawkgirl's really useless in the film. She's not in it that much, I will say that. But I'm going to jump right to my issue with the film Injustice, or my issue, so to speak, with the film. But I will say the humor in the film, surprisingly, 80 to 90% of it lands. You got that other 10% of James Gunn humor that doesn't always land. But I will get into right now my my problem with the film, and it's its runtime. This film is 2 hours and 9 minutes long, including the credits and end credit scenes, right? And I think that the film flies. Like when it starts, it's starting, the trail's fucking roll, or the train's rolling, it's going, it's going, it's going. It doesn't give you a lot of time to breathe with all the other characters, so to speak, whether it's the characters like Jimmy Olsen or Perry White. And these characters are written so well that I wanted to see more of them. This is one of those rare occasions where I wanted more of a runtime and not it cut. And I feel like there's some more footage somewhere that we had extended scenes with Perry White. There's not a lot of Clark Kent in the film. It's very Superman heavy. We know that this Superman takes place in his third year. And a lot of that is very shown throughout the film with its quick pacing. And I wanted a little bit more of breathing time. There's a scene in the film where Superman goes, or Clark visits the Kents, and it is a beautiful, heartwarming scene. This film also, guys, packs a lot of joy, fun, and emotion. It's got a lot of emotion. But there's also scenes in the film with Clark and Lois that I really liked. It was emotionally heavy, but I will say that it kind of gets dialed back by its humor. And what I wanted to see is more emotional scenes and extended parts of them throughout the film. I think the action's phenomenal. I think as the fight sequences go, with Superman fighting Ultraman and the engineer and the hammer of Borvia, or the kaiju, that's all cool. Metamorpho's fucking cool. All the characters are fucking sweet. Engineer, no. I didn't really care about her, honestly. I thought she was a little one-dimensional. I think Ultraman was definitely cooler. But with that being said, I just wanted to breathe a little bit more in this film. And I think the film could have benefited a lot more with even an extra 10 minutes, an extra, I would say 15 at the most. I think it would have been perfect. But guys, we're going to dive into spoilers, but I will say Superman is a great film. You guys got to go see this film. I had a blast with it. Now, spoilers. Let's talk about spoilers. So Lex basically orchestrates all these fights. The hammer of Borvia is basically Ultraman, Ultraman is controlling it. And the way that they set up Ultraman in the film, it worked for me. We obviously could sense that Ultraman is Superman's clone, so to speak. So David Cornsweet is playing Ultraman as well. And I liked it. It worked. I think the battles, the fight sequences were fucking really cool between Supes and Ultraman. He gets his ass kicked, though, a lot in this film, Superman. And I like that, but one thing they really did was humanize Superman in this film. And if I have to compare it to anything to Man of Steel, I will say this. Man of Steel in this film, I can't make a video. I was going to make a video called Movie versus Movie. I can't do it with this film. I can't. I literally, Superman and Man of Steel are two polar opposite films. The only thing that I can say is Superman and Man of Steel feels more like that Jesus God type figure. This Superman feels more like your traditional comic book Superman, boy from Kansas vibe, everything like that. And that's what works, and this film shines with its joy and its compassion. I don't know what else to really say in that sense. I will say the reveal of Ultraman, I thought it was cool. I really think it works. I think they're setting up Ultraman to become Bizarro later on down the line. They dive into the Pocket universe in this film that's we also know is going to carry into Peacemaker. We even see Peacemaker cameo in this film. And I think it was cool. But that's what I'm saying, guys. And it worries me for general audiences. I don't know how they're going to feel about it. This film, you have to get used to when you watch it, right? I loved it, right? And I mean that. And I would tell you guys right now, this film sucked. I really would tell you that. I am not sponsored by DC or nothing like that, even though I got the popcorn bucket back there and there's a glare from the fucking light, whatever. But you have to get used to this film. It's a whole different type of world. It is a world where superheroes exist, metahumans existed for years now. And the tech, that style tech that they got in this film, it is fucking cool. I will say right now, Mr. Terrific is the best of the Justice Gang. Hawkgirl, I forgot she's in the movie. She's fucking useless. I will say that right now. The Engineer is fucking useless too as a side character. I will say this. Staying on topic with the Justice Gang, I think Guy Gardner's Green Lantern, Nathan Fillion, I think he did a phenomenal job. And they don't overshadow Superman or nothing at all. But Mr. Terrific is the standout in the gang. His tech is so fucking cool. He's got a cool-ass sequence with him and Lois going to rescue Superman. is fucking sick. I even talk about Krypto in my spoiler-free portion. He's fucking cool as fuck too. He's not in the film as long as I thought he was gonna be, but he's awesome. And I loved his presence, so to speak. I think he's funny and everything like that. And the humor does land 90% of the film, guys. There's that rare 10% that it doesn't, and it's just like, okay, it's a little too much now, but it does work, so to speak. I thought to myself, though, the engineer and her nanotech, I'm just so sick of nanotech in these superhero movies. I really am. Whether it's a Marvel movie or a DC movie, fuck the nanotech. And that, just her character didn't really serve purpose. And I don't know if it was her writing or the actress, but she really couldn't act, so to speak. Can I act? Probably not, but whatever. But guys, what else can I say? I came out of this movie, I cannot wait to see what else happens in this universe. We see a cameo of Supergirl. It was whatever. Millie Alcott, she's gorgeous, so I can't wait to see what she does in her own solo film coming up. But one thing I will say, coming out of this theater, the end credit scenes of Superman sitting on the moon watching over Earth and Superman looking at a crack after the pocket universe expands and cuts Metropolis in half, whatever, not important. But I will say that the joy, the heart, the inspiration in this film is beautiful. It is truly, I will say this right now, when I was watching this film, I was getting a little choked up, a little eye watery when he's got his little sequences with Pa and Ma and Pa Kent. That hit me home right there. And what I really loved is a lot of the emotional sequences between him and his parents, or him and Lois. Some of the scenes got a little ruined by the humor, but they still worked for me. And I will say that I think David Cornsweet is a great Superman and a great Clark. And I think Rachel Brosnahan is a great Lois Lane, and Nicholas Hoult did a great job as Lex. But what I was going to say to wrap this video up, this film and Man of Steel are uncomparable. I love Man of Steel and I love Superman. I'm so happy to say that. But they are two different, distinct type movies that are uncomparable, honestly. The only way you compare, no, there's no fucking way. I'm not even going to dive into that rabbit hole. But I will say that when I came out of this theater, I was very excited about the future, and I can't wait to see what they do next, specifically with Lanterns, with Clayface, with Supergirl, whatever James Gunn's got in store. My trust is in this guy. I really love Superman, guys. I hope you got a chance to go see Superman. Let me know your thoughts below. I really enjoyed this film. I might make another video talking about the box office on Monday, how good it does, whatever. But thank God that I can come out and say that this film was good. My most anticipated film, guys, of 2025. And I'm very excited for the future of DC. It does look bright. Let's hope the modern or the general audiences, guys, go see this film. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys real soon.